Okay, we're here with Sammy Tawil from Norwood Nation. Sammy coming off a tough doubleheader sweep, but playing without pitcher A.B. Saka. Give us your thoughts about Marty pitching in the game.
Well, I thought Marty did a great job. He kept us in the game, and he gave us everything we asked for. It was a 2-1 game going into the 6th. It was 7th inning, and we just gave up 4 runs in the late part of the game, and we lost a tough one, 5-2. But Marty gave us everything we asked for. Actually, more than we asked for. So he brought back a lot of that old Jamal Powell days, and he gave us everything we asked for, and just lost.
That's like last night, if you were watching the Yankee game, Robbie Cano spraying water on Bobby Abreu yesterday. I wish I had some water. Great game.
I just want to know, we have a new pitcher who just came in.
This is Max.
Oh, yeah, look.
This is Yadid.
Max
It's great today.
It's a great game.
I'm out for the rest of the season. He's taking over for me.
I caught him great.
You didn't catch him great. Get out.
How did you do, Max? How was your debut?
It was good. It was nice. 3 innings, 1 big error, but scored 1 run. That's it.
So,
did good.
You think you have a big future in the YMSL as a pitcher?
I hope next year I could be a starting pitcher.
Wow, you ready for the challenge?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Just need to work on my riser.
You ready for the off-the-field antics?
Yeah, I'll handle it.
That kind of age.
Okay, good luck.
Bobby, if I may just say something. I know it's an extra long interview, and I don't want to take anything away from Sammy. Hell of a team. They played great. We're probably going to face them next week again, and my prediction is we'll face them in the finals. They didn't have their pitcher, which was it's tough to play without your pitcher, but tough team, Norwood Nation, and we'll see you next week.
You got it.
God bless you.
Good luck. Thank you.
He pitched well, by the way. He pitched vintage Yadid, and his son is pretty good also. So if he has a little of that Yadid in him, and hopefully in time he'll become. It's going to be big shoes to fill, but if he plays enough years, he might be like Yadid.
Give us your thoughts on the YMSL 2008. A lot of unknowns, and a lot of teams have a lot of unknowns. Teams are batched very closely from top to bottom. What do you think going into the last week of the regular season?
Well, I think there's a lot of young bats, a lot of young kids. That's what this league's all about. We need a lot of that youth infusion, and we're getting it. These kids like Jordy and Jackie Towles coming into his own, and all these young kids. It's hard to keep up with them, but it's great for the league. It's hopefully we'll get a few of the veterans back next year, like Jason Cohen I just spoke to, and he said he's coming back. And it's nice. We need it. We definitely need it because these guys are the future, and there's a lot of studs coming up, and it's going to be great for the league. So it keeps us, the veterans, on our toes.
A couple of words about your good buddy Eli Batesh, leading the league in hitting.
Yeah, I don't know how he did today, but I'm sure I'll hear about it.
Well, I'm sure he knows what he did today. And,
Oh no, he knows before he actually does it. So
yeah.
He's been talking about it all week, and he's looking for that first base All-Star selection, and
he might even garner some MVP votes.
He'll definitely be up there with MVP. I mean, him and Eddie Rishti and a few other guys, but he's having a good year. But now it comes down to when the playoffs start and when the big games start, he has to come through, and hopefully he will. I mean, for his team, they need him, and he's been vintage Eli Batesh.
It's a kind of strange year because he's not really into his own stats, but this year he's been following closely.
Yeah, this year he claims he doesn't go on the computer, but he seems to know his slugging percentage, his on-base percentage, his number of hits, how many hits he's ahead from Eddie Rishti, how many hits he needs to get to 702, and if he goes 6 for 9 the rest of the year, he'll be 737. So he knows it all for the next 3 weeks. Right. So he knows what needs to be done, and but he claims it's all about winning. So I don't know about that.
We haven't been able to get him on the air because he's not talking to the media this year. So
well, he's that's part of his shtick. That's part of his shtick. But I told him he has to get more than the singles. He has to get the doubles. He has to get the RBIs and get some clutch hitting. 2-out base hits.
And the defense.
And the defense. He has to come off that base and stretch a little bit, and use some of those muscles that he hasn't used for like 15 years. Pre-hamstring days.
When was the pre-hamstring days?
78, 79, when he was 15. That was
the first hamstring?
Yeah, hamstring 1981, and then it was like every other year, every other week actually. So
that's what it's going in the Hall of Fame, is hamstring. Actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hope we're gonna make him limp to the podium. We're gonna make him just do one of the limps. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be the MC for that night, and we're gonna make sure he's bandaged up on the thigh and his knee pads. The knee pads are gonna definitely come out, and we'll make sure he limps. And but believe me, he will be there. Trust me. Trust me, he'll be there. So
great year, one of the best pure hitters in league history. And thanks to Sammy Tawil from Norwood Nation.
It'll be a fun.
A couple of words.
Yeah, it'll be a fun couple. Next week will be fun, and hopefully we'll make the playoffs and be there for the big game.
Be interesting. Good race down the stretch.
Yeah.
No, we're here from Memorial One. Now back to the studio.